Welcome to WatchMojo UK, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 things we never thought we'd see on British TV.
Stop it! Stop it, Susie!
For this list, we're looking at shocking and surprising things that we never thought we'd see with our own eyes. Let us know in the comments which you think should never have seen the light of day. Number 10, Morgan vs. Clarkson. Who wants to be a millionaire?
As we welcome the simply awful human being that is Piers Morgan!
Possibly the most polarising figure in the UK, Piers Morgan has crossed plenty of people during his long career, notably Jeremy Clarkson, who famously punched him in 2004 when Piers was still editor of The Mirror. During a Boxing Day special where celebrities were given a chance to compete, Morgan was roped in as a contestant, and Clarkson never tired of taunting him.
Wizard did.
What?
I wish it could be Christmas every day.
Oh.
We never thought we'd see them join forces in the name of donating a large sum of money to charity, but they did just that. Piers even asks Clarkson for his help on a question about insects. Who knew these two could let bygones be bygones?
Here's what I think. I think Piers Morgan has just asked for my help.
Number 9, Lulu goes to the bathroom. Blue Peter. The mantra exists in show business for a reason. Don't work with children or animals.
Doesn't want to leave it.
Lulu the baby elephant proved that when she debuted on Blue Peter in 1969. Valerie Singleton and John Noakes are on hand to explain to the children at home everything they need to know about Lulu when Lulu starts to wee and then does a poo for good measure.
Can you?
She also won't leave the presenters alone and causes complete chaos. She began a long tradition of animals appearing on live telly and doing their business. In one viral This Morning moment, some allegedly house-trained guide ponies appeared and did a number 2 in the studio.
Oh, there you go. That's perfect timing.
Number 8, Corrie Ghost. Coronation Street. The soaps don't often stray into the territory of the supernatural, which is why nobody expected to see this absolutely atrocious ghost show up in an episode of Corrie that aired in 2018. Debuting on New Year's Eve, we saw Dev and Kirk sneaking into an empty snooker hall as the entire set is doused in an eerie and hard-on-the-eyes green light. And then the ghost shows up, flying towards them and screaming. It was all an elaborate trick on the part of Carla to teach them a lesson, but it was the last thing anybody expected from Coronation Street. The soaps might be exaggerated to no end, but they're still expected to have some sort of grounding in reality.
What's wrong, Dev?
Number 7, a combo made in hell. Michael McIntyre's very Christmassy Christmas show. Who doesn't want their Christmas dinner cooked by Michael McIntyre, Jamie Oliver, and Mrs. Brown? Well, absolutely everyone in the UK, it turns out.
Wonder who on earth this could be.
Oh, good Lord!
Jamie Oliver on his own is bad enough. We will never forgive him for ruining school dinners. But Mrs. Brown and McIntyre are divisive figures in their own right. Mrs. Brown's Boys remains one of the most hated British sitcoms, while Michael McIntyre's success is still confusing, considering most people don't like him much either.
Where did that come from?
But there was one silver lining, however slim. James Corden didn't show his face. It's no wonder McIntyre's chat show was cancelled after 7 episodes, with this being the last one. Number 6, Matt Lucas dubs anime. Lum the Invader Girl. BBC Choice was eventually replaced with BBC Three and only lasted for about 5 years. Perhaps strange segments like this are the reason why. For some reason, during a Japan TV weekend the channel put on a joke dub of the anime Urusei Yatsura. It was done by actress Anna Friel and comedian Matt Lucas. Still 3 years before Little Britain's television debut.
Here's my business card. If it's Pikachu, I've got the set.
Being a joke dub, it only vaguely follows the actual dialogue, but it's painfully unfunny. Even today, anime isn't something seen often on the BBC, let alone anime starring Matt Lucas making awful jokes. They also skipped the second episode, making it even more confusing.
What the hell is that? It's Raymond. It's funny because he usually goes for a pizza.
Number 5, Royal Family. This documentary was designed to let the public see what goes on behind the closed doors of Buckingham Palace and how the royals really are just ordinary people like everyone else.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, do you think you could bring up those papers that I was looking at yesterday?
Except it was an absolute disaster for the royals' PR because it removed much of the mystery around the royals and what they get up to, and ultimately made them look ridiculous.
Because I imagine it'll be a very busy day for him anyway, so he doesn't want to make it too big.
Her Majesty disliked it so much she actually had it buried, though after it featured in an episode of The Crown, interest in it resurfaced and clips are still available. We never thought the BBC would air a day in the life of the Queen.
Well, it'll be very interesting, is that?
Number 4, Vibrator Reviews. This morning. It's all well and good showing X-rated content after the watershed, but This Morning airs at 10 a.m, so people were pretty shocked to see an item recommending the best vibrators.
The sex toy industry is worth 15 billion US dollars globally, and it's set to rise to 52 billion in the year 2020.
Tracy Cox is on to talk about the popularity of adult toys and says it herself. A few years ago, you wouldn't dream of even talking about vibrators, let alone showing and reviewing them on live daytime television.
I'm looking at it going, I don't even know what you do with that.
Predictably, the straight-laced British public began to complain, with some saying they thought the segment was disgusting. To make matters worse, Cox explains in great detail how some of the devices work.
Technique is incredibly important, and most men wouldn't have a clue.
All right.
Number 3, Pedogeddon, Brass Eye. Chris Morris's satirical news show was controversial throughout its entire run, getting plenty of threats to be taken off air by Channel 4, as well as huge numbers of complaints.
A spokesman said, "This is the one thing we didn't want to happen."
However, Channel 4 finally made good on its threat following the airing of Pedogeddon in 2001, which satirised the British media's obsession with denouncing absolutely everybody as a sex criminal.
Why can we no longer think of the British Isles without the word pedof in front of them?
To be fair, Morris's statistics are pretty alarming, especially if you define a child as anyone under 30. Just like other episodes of Brass Eye, Morris ropes in various celebs to spew complete nonsense, and even a few members of the public. It was extremely explicit and shocking it ever made it to air in the first place.
Security footage of a paedophile disguised as a school. He's been getting away with it in Sheffield for 12 years.
Number 2, Naked Attraction. This show takes the superficial world of dating apps to an extreme like no other, and maybe one of the most infamous British shows overseas.
Inside each of these coloured pods is a brave naked singleton. One of them will be picked to go on a date.
One lucky singleton is presented with an array of potential suitors, all of them completely naked. They decide based almost entirely on physical appearance, starting with what they've got going on downstairs, who they're willing to date.
Please reveal
the bottom half of the bodies.
They all pretend like they're not being shallow when they choose who to eliminate, but there's no hiding on this show. It's a far cry from the wholesome blind date Cilla Black presented for years, but remarkably doesn't violate any of Ofcom's rules. The worst part is when they awkwardly hug after getting kicked off.
We've all got a naked body at the end of the day. No one's as perfect.
So might as well embrace it and enjoy it.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
Number 1, Ghostwatch. Sometimes we get used to shocking scenes and they become commonplace. But Ghostwatch has never, ever been rebroadcast since it debuted on Halloween in 1992.
Well, something's gone very wrong with that ghost story. Probably a poltergeist.
It was a ghost hunting show in the vein of Most Haunted, but with scripted scenes and special effects to create some truly spooky spectres. Much scarier than the one on Corrie. The combination of the faux documentary format, plus using established BBC presenters like Parky, led some people to believe that the horrific moments were real.
Mum's here. Oh dear God.
There was a disclaimer at the beginning, but it was brief and thousands of people missed it. An entire generation was traumatised from the experience.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo UK and subscribe for more great content.